Last time on Out Chasing Stars, we set off on a 2-night river tour deep into the Tanjung National Park rainforest in Borneo. Our primary goal was to see orangutans in the wild, and the trip definitely did not disappoint. We saw quite a few, but the highlight of the trip was on a night trek, when we captured the only known footage of a flat-headed cat kitten in the wild. No real rest for the weary this morning. We got back from our orangutan adventure yesterday, and we're on the move again this morning. So Indonesia is kind of infamous for just not having a whole lot of wind. So when there is some, you gotta take a little bit of advantage of it. So we are getting underway pretty damn quickly because there's gonna be a grand total of like 10 or 11 knots of wind out there. When you don't have much, you gotta get excited over little things, I guess. And so we are headed down the river this morning. Gonna try to do some sailing today. The wind's probably gonna die tomorrow, and we'll end up probably having to motor half of the trip. But sailing half is still better than motoring the whole thing. So take what we can get, even if you know we wouldn't mind a little downtime to catch up, recover. But onwards we go. We were setting sail on a 280-mile, 2-night passage to the island of Belitung. Unlike previous passages in Indonesia, this time the wind showed up earlier than expected. Hello! We're out of the mouth of the river now. You can probably tell by me bouncing around a bit. It's a little choppy out here, but that means the wind is up actually higher than I was expecting, so we're gonna try to get the main up and do some sailing now. It's always a bit more challenging to do anything when it's bumpy, but fortunately, I have a partner who hangs on to my every word and is ready to help. The mainsail is up, and well, we're moving now. How fast are we sailing?
8 knots.
Yeah, that's moving and grooving. Like, this is not a perfect analogy because Starry Horizons isn't the fastest boat on the water. But every once in a while, I kind of feel like, she's a bit of a greyhound. Just kind of wants to stretch her legs. She's not enjoying this sailing slow in Indonesia stuff. Yeah, Amy's just laughing at me.
David, I'm listening to a podcast and you moved my phone, so I can't turn off the podcast. So I'm just sitting here listening to Dear Hank and John, and Dave is just going on about sailing. Sure.
He's like, don't care. Get the camera off me. All right, everyone. Guess that's it for now. It's always fun to sail fast. So when the wind did its Indonesia thing and started dropping, I was quick to change strategies. We've been sailing much better than I was expecting so far, but the wind is kind of starting to drop enough that we can actually pull the screecher out. So I think I'm going to do that now. voila! The Screecher's now deployed. We've picked up a 1.5 knots. Well worth the effort, even if it is a lot of going up and down stairs and cranking on winches, but doable with one person. Amy doesn't particularly like doing the Screecher just by herself, but and I would not choose to do our Spinnaker by myself, but the Screecher and I seem to get along pretty well. We've got our first tugboat race on this passage. If our trip up to Kamai was anything to judge by, there will be a fair few more over the next couple days. With the Screecher out, it looks like we're going to go ahead and pass in front of them. They don't have AIS, or at least they're not transmitting, so I can't tell our exact course, but I am tracking them on radar, so that certainly is helpful. And yeah, should beat this guy, heading up towards our next little waypoint turn, and keep on sailing on.
We're just speed demons this morning.
That's, for those who can't tell, that's a heavy dose of sarcasm, because our speed over ground right now is a grand total of 3.2 knots. The wind has died, so we've got between kind of 6 and 7 knots of apparent, or true wind speed, excuse me. And our apparent wind speed is down in the 3s, so, and is right behind us, which makes it very, very slow. But because we sailed so much better than I was expecting yesterday, we have a little bit of a cushion to arrive before tomorrow evening. So we're going to try sailing for as long as we can. We've got the Screecher out to the port side, Genoa out to the starboard side, doing a little wing on wing. Sails are not entirely happy with the wind this light, but it is working. So we're going to stick with it as long as we can for, we have to, until we have to turn the engines on. Turns out, we had to turn on the engines a lot sooner than I thought. Is it time to give up, babe? Sailing, I mean. For this passage.
What are we giving up on life?
It's all over. We're done with. No mas.
Well, we are going like a 1.5 knots, and it is really hot out.
Yeah, we're getting close to the equator, aren't we? Like,
we're under 3 degrees now. 3 degrees south. We're at 2 degrees 57.
So we're getting close, and no wind is not so fun.
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now.
So I guess time to go roll in the remaining headsail, huh?
Time to give up.
On life.
No.
The timing to put away all the sails actually worked out quite well, as we had some weather headed our way. Looks like we have a little bit of a squall on the horizon. It's just passing us. Looks like it's entering the rain now. And I'm hoping maybe we'll get a little bit of wind, or if nothing else, drop the temperature a few degrees would be nice. The system looked pretty benign to start out, but it soon turned very nasty. Oh my god, that's a waterspout right there. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Is that wild or what, babe?
That is pretty wild. Do you remember we saw one back in Kima like a while ago?
Yeah, way back in a long time ago.
But we were in our house, so we were very safe. But my understanding is that just like tornadoes, they're very unpredictable, so we just kind of do our thing.
Well, the storm is moving away from us, so...
That's true.
that will end up going by, but we're going to keep a very close eye on that. My goodness.
Yeah, wild.
There are two main types of waterspouts, fairweather and tornadic. This was likely a fairweather waterspout, which is the less severe of the two, but winds can still get up to 67 miles per hour.
Looks like it's breaking up. Wow, you can see the bottom funnel just like disappearing. That is insane.
It's really dissipating now. You can hardly even see it.
Yeah,
Like-
thank goodness, because that thing looks close.
Yeah, there's a little bit that I can see in the middle, and you can kind of see the cloud of water at the bottom, but it's definitely not as strong as it was.
Whew.
It's definitely not that far from us.
No, that's within a mile or two.
Yeah. It seems like the waterspout has dissipated now, thankfully, but we are going to be keeping an eye on this cell and crossing our fingers for no more waterspouts. Our plan was to, I mean, we're motoring, and I know that the big thing would be, like, if we had sails up, it would probably rip up our sails. But our plan was just get inside, close up.
We did divert course.
We did
Try to
divert
get
course
a little way around
about like 30 degrees to starboard to get around it. Yeah, but I mean, I actually don't know. I know that you can't like plan where it is, so you can't get away from it. I think the most you could do is just put your sails down and batten the hatches and stay inside. Thankfully, we are also in the international shipping channel right now. So like there are big ships, and if anything were to happen, we would have our handheld VHF with us and call for help. Yeah, I think that's about all you can do.
Well,
I don't know. Is there anything else we should do, guys? Next time.
Well,
Next time we know.
Hopefully, we'll have done some research by this point. You see this, but definitely leave some comments. Let us know what else we should do in preparation.
Yeah, and let us
that's a little
know-
freaky.
Let us know if you've been hit by a waterspout. I've seen some videos of it happening to boats at anchor, but yeah, who survived?
Well, now that the waterspout has gone, we're still skirting the edge of the storm. The wind has finally picked up. I'm a little freaked out though, and not thinking we're gonna put the sail up just in case something comes back. But whew, that's heart is jumping just a little bit. Not gonna lie.
I fall firmly in the better safe than sorry camp, but the storm cell did bring at least one benefit.
You do look a little bit cooler up there now.
Oh my god, it is so comfortable with this cold air from the cell. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little hasty in saying that it wasn't dropping the temperature, because it definitely is now.
Yeah, it feels really good, but I am getting occasionally a big fat raindrop. So, it's coming, and we're gonna have to bunker down inside. Waterspout or no waterspout.
It's probably really hard to see, but I'm looking towards the storm over there. It's starting to white cap, which is just straight coming from the storm. And if I look over on the other side of the boat, water is still relatively calm. It's kind of wild how it just whips it up right by the cell. After that wicked squall passed us, we did get the sails up for a little while, taking advantage of some of that wind. Died out again, down to like 4 knots true, and it's picked up again. So I went ahead and got all the sails up. Amy's downstairs sleeping, so I had to go do the main by myself, Screecher by myself, and I'm doing the tricky dual head sails going upwind trick. The Genoa's out just a touch. We can't get it too far, or it really starts blanketing the Screecher apparently, but every little bit of sail area helps, and now we've got 10 knots of true wind speed, sailing at 70-ish degrees apparent over off the port side, and we're doing like 5.5 knots, which is especially good because the current that has been so nice and with us this whole trip has turned against us. About a knot current we're heading into, so every extra little bit of speed I'll take. The sun is setting. And of course that means we're arriving right in a traffic jam. We've got a fishing vessel off our port side. We got a big ship coming up the stern. We got a towboat with a tug up in front of us on the starboard side. I think there's another fishing boat that is almost directly in front of us. It keeps popping up in the radar every once in a while. So we've got about 16 miles we need to make our turn over the top of Belitung and head towards the final destination. So it's gonna be a little tricky kind of weaving our way through everybody. But you know, we've been sailing better than I was expecting. So we've still got the main and screecher up, and that's working fairly well. Current against us is really hurting, but we'll be able to sail for a little bit longer, motor for the rest of the way. Wind is supposed to die again tomorrow, so that's just sailing in Indonesia, I suppose. Last sunrise at sea back there. It's actually kind of a nice one. It's kind of a weird thing here in Indonesia because we are in Western Indonesia time zone, which sunrise is really early. The sky started lighting at like 4:30, and when we head into Singapore, we actually jump back an hour, which is just kind of weird. But yeah, night ended up okay. The wind died out, so Amy got the screecher in by herself. Very proud of her for doing that. And saw one fad that passed pretty close off the port side. Fortunately, it was lit, so we knew it was there. And we're just motoring kind of the rest of the way, I think. So pretty much easy peasy. Hey, you.
Hi.
We look like we're almost there.
We are almost there. We have like a mile to go.
A mile? Well, I woke up at the perfect time then.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet for the last little bit.
Very quiet. We have, drum roll, 6 knots of true wind speed.
It's pretty light still.
Pretty light, but that's a good thing. I mean, we're coming into the anchorage. It's a very flat island. But it's got, first of all, we've kind of caught back up to the rally. So a lot of our buddies are here. And it's got these cool granite boulders everywhere. And it's called like the little baths from the British Virgin Islands. So I'm excited to go do some exploring around these awesome rocks.
Yeah, it looks pretty unique.
Yeah. And supposedly the water is going to be nice and clear and sandy and shallow, which we need to clean the bottom of the boat.
Yeah, we've got a few chores coming up, don't we?
Yep. Water maker day today.
Yeah.
Air conditioning.
For a hot passage, sounds pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, it's been really hot, guys.
Alright, well, high five for a successful passage. Go get the anchor down.
It's always worth celebrating a successful passage, even if it's a short one. We motored around a bit to find the perfect anchor spot right by friends, and once we were secure, the chores began. Tops on the list was filling up on diesel, and let's just say Belitung had a bit of an interesting setup, so we were sure to use our fuel filter when adding the diesel to the tank. We crossed a few other items off the to-do list as well, and then got to work having fun. Hey y'all, thank you very much for checking out our Passage to Belitung video. It was an interesting passage. Those waterspouts, I know it doesn't look crazy close on camera, but they were crazy close, which was kind of nerve-wracking, not my favorite moment on the boat. Fortunately, we escaped unscathed, and the next video we've got coming up is a really exciting one. We did an equator crossing with our friends Carlos and Linda on 22 South, and we got to dress up, play Neptune's representative, do a whole ceremony. It was a lot of fun, so really looking forward to share that one with you. Stick around, check it out. See y'all next time.